Good afternoon, gardening friends. It's the beginning of the next episode, episode 6. It's January 28th at about 2 o'clock, and I'm back on the old camera just because it's a little bit steadier, especially with a tripod. I can kind of use it as a, what do they call it, steady cam kind of thing. Anyway, here we go with the first update. Better than last week anyway. So let's take a look at the tomato. Actually, it's looking a little droopy. I guess I'll give it some additional water, but we've had a good amount of rain in the last few days, so I haven't worried too much about watering it. But now the sun's coming back out for the week, so we'll do what we can to water the plants. Haven't done anything with the medium planter yet. Maybe I'll try and get some seeds in the ground today. I'll give you a quickie update at the end if I do. I've lined up the planters on the wall again. The painters are not 100% finished, but we had to actually pull them off the job, and we'll bring them back later. So when they come back, I'll evaluate whether or not I want to take everything down again. But you can kind of see how the greens are doing. I took a couple of leaves off the shard, and it looks pretty good. I think actually, I'm not sure if my buttercrunch is actually bolting, because it looks like it's just going to flower now. So maybe what I'll do is cut off flowers, see if it bounces back. If not, I can always plant some more seeds. The 4 o'clock, I think, is a lost cause. The geranium's still doing nicely. In fact, actually, it's looking even better after the rain. That's pretty much it for these. You can see I pulled the plastic mostly down, which frees me up to do some more things. I got one more of my box planters there. And we'll take a look at the incubator. You know, honestly, last week was so crazy I forgot to do some of the watering. So I think the only thing that survived was the one on the left. But we'll figure out what to do with those. I'm still trying to come up with sort of a plan for what to do with all the gardening around here. So, or at least all of my own stuff. And then I've got some new pots to deal with or figure out what to do with. And, well, we'll cover that in a minute. So let's go outside and see what it looks like out there. I think I'm going to pretty much stick to just telling you what's changed in these updates. So all that's really happened here, and this will be sort of the last time, not much. I suppose I could point out that there's a couple of flowers on one of the morning glories. I think this is, oh, it's not quite the only one. This one over here too has one up near the top. Okay, yeah, it's not in bloom at the moment, but there is something up there. Oh, sorry, I guess it was out of frame. So there you go. Anyway, that's it for the morning glories. And there's the yellow flower I showed you over the weekend. Just kind of want to show you the difference. It's now starting to wilt, so I'm probably going to pick it off and eat it. Huh, let's just do that now. Yum. It's a unique taste. So as we come around, I did want to show you, I got one of the orange flowers on this one. So the nasturtiums are doing nicely. Ooh, that's particularly peppery. Anyway, this is what we got over here. There isn't a whole lot of change, despite what I just said. There is a little bit right here where I got a whole bunch more pots. It's a long story I won't bother you with, but effectively somebody had to get rid of a bunch of pots, and so I volunteered to take them, and they're just sitting here for now. I'll figure out what to do in terms of distributing it all. Some of them actually had, but they were sort of buried under some other stuff. So all stuff has been left behind. You can kind of see how we're doing with this was all the stuff from the nursery. Not really growing all that well. The Nandina's looking really kind of skimpy, but it's surviving. It's still alive. And really, I didn't expect it to really take root that quickly, so we'll see how this one does, and we'll go look at the north courtyard. I know this probably seems a lot more rapid fire than you're used to, but I'm trying to shorten up my videos, tighten them up a bit, and I just wanted to give you another shot of this flower off the original camera instead of the cell phone camera. So there's that one, and if I spot a couple more around the complex, I'll let you see them. About the only thing worthy of note in the north courtyard lately is this rose, which has been cut back. It's actually planted in the ground. It's actually one of the neighbor's plants. But when we had a lot of work done last year, actually about this time, where they came through and pulled a bunch of plants, the actual landscapers came through and pulled a bunch of plants, and I'm just spotting something else here. Huh. Got 2 of these spider plants now. I'm not sure when the second one was added. Anyway, when they did a lot of work on the landscaping. I asked them if they could actually plant this one in the ground, and they did, and it gave some roses, but now they've cut it back, so that should sort of encourage growth through the spring. There is another one in a big pot over here. That one's really not getting quite enough sun. I'll have to figure out if I can relocate it again. It's a neighbor's plant, but they kind of left it under my control. When I asked the landscapers if they could plant that one in the ground, they said they'd rather not because they didn't want to take a chance on killing it, being that it was as mature as it was. So we'll see what we do with this one. Now I think that may be it. I'll see if I find anything else for today. So here's another one of these orange plants. If somebody wants to identify it, go ahead. I'd appreciate that. You can see towards the back there's some berries. So that's what the fruit looks like before it goes to flower. So I think that's actually it for the day today, unless I get some stuff done on my patio. Alright folks, so I thought I had 3 different types of melon seeds that I had saved from some delicious melons. I only found 2 of them, so the first 2 I found are the ones that went out here. I just planted canary melon here and lemon drop melon over here. Lemon drop was rather interesting, sort of combination of lemon and what do you call it, honeydew. So it's kind of like honeydew with a twist. Anyway, it was an interesting tasting melon. We'll see if they grow. I wasn't terribly scientific. I just kind of broadcast some seeds over the top, and basically just, I can see one still sitting here, just poked them into the ground, covered it up, and that was pretty much it. So I'm not trying to be super efficient on how deep I planted them, and there were a whole bunch of them, so we'll see which ones sprout and if I have to thin it. But you can see I got quite a few seeds in both cases. So that's the melon patch. I am back again. Okay, so I think this is going to be it for the day. I've actually trimmed off the lower leaves, the lower branches on the tomato to try and give the energy back up to the top, giving it some water. I planted the Bright Lights Swiss chard in this section of the big planter, and the climbing spinach over here. And I planted, like I said, I planted the other, the 2 different melon seeds in here, and I've watered, and I'm gonna try and label them tonight, so you'll understand if I'm gonna quit about where I am now. I've trimmed off the butter crunch lettuce in hopes to put the energy back down low. The broccoli, I really don't know if this is actually going to get any better, but I watered it. The Swiss chard, I just watered it. So that's pretty much it for all of these. In doing all of that, I needed some soil for the big planter, and so I just stole it from one of the boxes, which I wasn't using at the moment. So I'm just going to, as I need to top off the soil, I'm just going to keep emptying out these boxes, and I'll put fresh soil in them when I figure out what I'm going to plant in them. If you think about it, I've got all of these boxes, and actually one behind me right now, that need to be filled and planted, except for the 3 that already have plants. Everything on that end is pretty much considered dead, so it's going to be replaced. So that should be it for the day. Next update, I'll show you my labels. Alright, until next time.